Hey everyone, welcome back to FT News. I'm Myra. SNL U.K. just delivered one of its most chaotic political sketches yet, and somehow managed to combine Keir Starmer, Eurovision, Truss, political scandals, leadership rivalries, and complete Downing Street madness into a single cold open. And honestly, this felt less like comedy and more like Britain accidentally roasting itself live on television. The season finale of SNL U.K. opened inside 10 Downing Street, where viewers quickly discovered that Prime Minister Keir Starmer's home was basically turning into political Hunger Games. The sketch starts with former Health Secretary West Streeting being shown around Downing Street by a real estate agent, as if the Prime Minister's residence is already becoming available to rent. Which immediately tells you exactly where the joke is going. The entire sketch basically revolves around the idea that everyone inside the Labour Party already seems to be acting like they're preparing for Starmer's downfall before his government has even properly settled in. And then things become even more ridiculous almost instantly. Because out of nowhere, former Conservative Prime Minister Truss bursts out of a cupboard asking for another chance. Yes, literally from a cupboard. Which might honestly be one of the most accurate visual metaphors for modern British politics anyone has ever created. The sketch keeps escalating from there. Streeting talks about how amazing the property is, before the real estate agent warns him that there's one major problem with living there. Everyone in the country is going to hate you. And honestly, that line probably hurt because it felt weirdly believable. Then Andy Burnham shows up talking about wanting to become the outsider candidate and political disruptor, only for Streeting to immediately remind him that he was literally an MP for years and supported the Iraq War. So the sketch basically destroys everyone equally within minutes. Then Angela Rayner arrives and immediately starts joking about stamp duty and tax problems after her resignation controversy. At this point, the entire sketch starts feeling like every British political scandal from the last few years got trapped together inside one building. But the funniest part comes when Keir Starmer himself finally appears. He walks downstairs wearing a red nightdress, looking completely exhausted while complaining that everyone is interrupting him trying to watch Eurovision. And honestly, this might have been the sharpest joke in the entire sketch, because it perfectly mixed politics with the real-life Eurovision controversy happening right now. Starmer says Eurovision is now the only television program left with any integrity. Then he specifically praises Eurovision for standing up to Russia after the Ukraine invasion, before awkwardly mentioning that he also loved Israel's song this year. That line immediately changes the atmosphere of the sketch, because Eurovision itself has become surrounded by controversy due to boycotts and protests over Israel's participation. So SNL U.K. clearly knew exactly what they were doing there. They weren't just making random Eurovision jokes. They were directly mocking how politicians carefully navigate controversial international issues while still trying to sound emotionally connected to pop culture events. And honestly, the writing was smarter than people might expect from a sketch like this. Because underneath all the chaos, the sketch is really about political instability. Nobody in the room actually seems confident in leadership anymore. Every character acts like they're already preparing for the next collapse. And Starmer himself looks exhausted, defensive, and overwhelmed the entire time. Which probably explains why the sketch connected with so many viewers online almost immediately. Because whether people support Labour or not, the comedy comes from the feeling that modern politics now looks permanently unstable. Every government feels temporary. Every politician feels replaceable. Every scandal feels endless. And the sketch exaggerates that reality into complete absurdity. Even Starmer's final line lands because of that. After everyone keeps arguing and invading his space, he finally snaps and yells that as far as he knows, he's still Prime Minister for at least another 75 minutes. Not years. Not a full term. Just 75 minutes. And honestly, That might be the most brutally accurate political joke SNL U.K. has made so far. The sketch also shows how much more confident SNL U.K. has become recently. When the British version first launched, many people doubted whether the American SNL format could really work in the UK. But the show has slowly started finding its own identity by leaning heavily into British political chaos, awkward public scandals, and extremely dry humor. Instead of trying to copy American comedy exactly, the show now feels more specifically British. More cynical, more awkward, more self-destructive. And honestly, that works perfectly for UK politics right now. Meanwhile, Eurovision being part of the sketch also shows just how massive the controversy around this year's contest has become. Even comedy shows are now using Eurovision as shorthand for political tension, protests, and division instead of just music and entertainment. Which honestly says a lot about how strange this year has been overall. The fact that one sketch managed to include Liz Truss hiding in furniture, labor leadership panic, tax scandal jokes, and Eurovision politics all at once somehow still feels completely believable in modern Britain. And that may actually be the funniest part. This is Myra from FT News signing off.